Listen. One time for you praying on my downfall. 2 times for my homies in the chow hall. 3 times for the hoes on the internet shitting on niggas, but really they should get out more. 4 times for all the bad days. 5 times for bitches they ain't called back. 6 times for a kid like me who's got ADHD. This one's for you. Woo! Listen, Carlos Washington checking in again. Check it out, dude. Check it out. You see what's behind me, right? The beauty. Remember yesterday I was like, it's only gonna get worse. Well, what happened? What happened? I mean, it's not worse. You know, it's just calm. It's a cold motherfucker. But on with today's transmission. So let's go. Let me get a sip of my water. Check this out. My water, cold as hell. All right, so on with today's transmission. Let me read as follow. Sé fuerte y valiente. No tengas miedo. El Señor tu Dios estará contigo donde quiera que vayas. Valiente. Courage is today's transmission. I mean, like I keep on saying. Much more do you know? I can't. It took a lot of courage for me to be here. But I showed up, didn't I? You know, it takes a lot of courage for me to be away from home. Not that much courage, but it takes a bit of courage for me to be away from home. I've been away from home for days now already. We working. See that? We working. For you. For you. And you want more blood? My blood? I am a free man. I will choose my own fate. Yeah, comment down below where you heard that from. Listen, it's a cold motherfucker out here. And it takes a bit of courage to be here with you right now. But listen, courage is only a byproduct, right? Like, for example, I need some tea channeling. I don't look too bad today, but man, I was like, I had to muster up the courage to review, right, my previous videos, and I had to muster up the courage to honestly reflect, right? See, I'm reflecting with you right now, but, you know, if I rewatch it, which I didn't plan to do, but, you know, again, I had to muster up the courage to reflect on my own son. And boy, man, I got my contrast is not right. You know, my contrast, right? Like the volume in my hair kind of thing, the contrast between my skin and my hair. But that's why I can't include, man. I need some tea channel. But no, you know, I reflected, right? And like I said, courage is only a byproduct, right? And I saw his video. Shout out to Gymnasium Jesus, King Keto. And he spoke about courage, right? And you can't have courage. You can't have courage without fear being present. And that's the part that a lot of us don't like to fix, right? We all want to do, I mean, I don't know. Like, we all want to do and just do things without facing yourself in the process. You know, I mean, probably more people now are more open to that than, but, you know, from what I've observed, there's not a lot of us out there that are willing to honestly reflect on oneself And again, like, listen, me being here takes a bit of courage because there's a bit of fear in making these videos, but not like what you think, right? My courage was tested, if you've been following, 2023 when I got Sparta kicked. That's when my courage was tested, because the fear that I had to deal with, right, wasn't any fear, but there's like a difference. You can either deal with the fear, right, and that's where the courage comes in. Because if you have too much fear, you might not be able to muster up enough courage to counterbalance, to get you through whatever. So, like I said, my courage was tested, right, in 2023. It really was. That was like a big impact for me, because just like I said, dealing with fear for fucking whole year straight, that shit was crazy. But anyways, like I mentioned earlier, I had to reflect, right, on my video, so I had to muster up a bit of courage to accept self-criticism. And I realized that I started the last couple videos, I was a bit emotional. And I think, also too, I'm kind of winging these videos because I'm working right now. Like I said, we damn near work around the clock 7 days. I work 7 days a week, right? Even then, it took a lot of courage to get to where I'm at in the means that I generate money with, right? What's another thing? So I had to muster up the courage to start a business. See that? This is what I'm trying to say. Like, when I reflected on my videos, I felt like I was a bit sporadic, which I was. It's cold as shit, just like it is now in the last video. And I was wrong. I thought it was video 4, but it was actually 5. That's why this ended in 6, for the kids who got ADHD like me. And yeah, I had to develop courage to start a business, because I had, I pondered on the idea for a bit. And it takes courage to take action in spite of fear, right? So that's why, like I said, I had to deal with courage, not actually deal with the fear, man. Yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking. I mean, look behind me, just, what I'm saying, what you see besides the beauty of the white snow, the white gold. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, courage, man. Courage is ser valiente. Courage, valiente. Today's scripture came from the book of Joshua. The book of Joshua, I believe it's chapter 1, verse 9. We'll see. See, damn. I got a little too excited, man. It's like, I feel great after these videos, honestly. It's interesting, I feel aligned, or it's helping me align. And yeah, courage, valiente. It's a powerful word, it is. And it's a powerful feeling. It's an empowering feeling. But again, courage cannot exist without fear. So that means, like, if you don't have a shred of fear when you're doing something, then you ain't being courageous. There ain't no courage behind what you're doing. Courage can only exist in the presence of fear. Let that sink in. Listen. Today and tonight is another day to conquer what scares us the most. And with that, You're gonna learn one of these days. Maybe. I'm Carlos Washington. Bless.